Look, snap! I wasn't expecting anyone to actually click on it. I don't know how muffled the sound is by my air conditioner, though. Just chilling in my garage. So, anything you guys want to talk about? Boss 302, MGB. Air conditioner's off, so now it should be more audible. There we go. Charles. Going on. I'm doing all right. I am bored and I don't have anything to really work. Well, actually, I got lots to work on. I just don't feel like working on it today. I bled the brakes on my MGB, well, the rear drums on my MGB with my 6-year-old son. So uh, not 100% on how well that went until I get tested out. But it's wet out and I don't drive that car in the rain, so I'd usually go test it at night. But, oh well. I've also never done this before. I'm just kind of playing around with the live stream because I was bored. So I saw your video on the what was it, the 6.8? Yep, yep. It's pretty cool. I was wondering when. I don't know if I'm curious if that's going to kill the coyote off. And yeah, I was actually going to do a video of that myself, but it was going to be more tailored towards talking about the death of the 302, possibly. I'm kind of hoping it is the death of the 302 because that kind of cements the rarity of this guy over here. So I guess it is rare no matter what because it's only that year. So I'm curious, like what power it's going to make. I was reading someone saying they're guessing 500, which I wouldn't be surprised if they started at 500. But I'm guessing that based on the modern technology and how much they squeezed out of the 5.0, if they couldn't really, like, I think 550 is possibly realistic, but I don't know. I'm not a design engineer. Yeah, I definitely think 500 starting point. They might even dial it back from that and start at like 490 because you know how they like to improve over the years, or give it like a performance model with a high end intake, which would really push it up. They better change it up. That thing is. I've got it in here, and my only saving grace is the MGW short throw. Um, I got. I was the technically the third owner of this car. The first owner was like a '06. He was a Coast Guard captain, and I met him, and he actually was a really cool guy. He gave me the original car cover that he had with it, or the car cover he had with it. He also gave me the baffle plates for the side pipes, which was pretty neat. And then he also let me, yeah, he gave me quite a few things. He let me know the short throw was done, and yeah, he gave me the whole breakdown of the history of the car. I'm technically a third owner though because there was a junior enlisted sailor in the Navy who bought it and he couldn't afford it, so his insurance company said, "Nuh-uh," and they wouldn't wouldn't buy off on the loan, I guess, and somehow the sale fell through. So I was able to pick it up on the cheap from a Chevy dealer. I got the McLeod. Yeah. Well, if this ever goes out, then it's either a McLeod or the Exidy, and I might be leaning towards the Exidy. I'm not sure. I've heard good things about both. I like the Barton. Right? What's this is Barton, and then there's is it SR make one. SR is like the I don't want to call them lower end, but they're like the cheaper on the spectrum, I guess, right? Hey, hey, yeah, this is going to be kind of a very. I'm just kind of hanging out in my garage. I did some work on the MG today, and I don't feel like doing much more. It's nasty out, and I was going to test out some stuff, and I can't. So I'm here to talk about Boss or MG, or just hang out because I don't. It's time to kill. Oh, I know. So dream goals. Oh, Charles, it's you. Yeah, you got. Yeah, I know what you're. I know. I know what you're saying. Uh, dream goals, and I think I might have said it to you when I first bought it. I mean, I got so I should probably do a video where I readdress like the whole of this car. And I'll tell you guys real quick. So I got the car when I lived in North. I was living in Virginia Beach, and a guy in my street he would always walk his cocker spaniels. We had these neighborhood nature trails. He'd be walking his cocker spaniels, and he always had his garage open. I saw something in there stacked under like a ton of boxes. And if you go back to like episode one of this thing, you can see kind of the state it was in. But stacked under a ton of boxes. And like, hey man, what do you got under there? And he's like, he's like, I got. I said, oh, it's an old MGB. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he's like, you want to buy it? And I'm like, buy it. I was like, I literally just bought this car. I had it for like less than a month. I was like, if I buy that car, my wife is going to kill me. And I had a two door car garage like I do here, and she gave me the challenge. She's like, if you can fit it in the garage, go for it. And so I had a whole bunch of weight equipment in there, and I was like, you know what? I'll just sell it. I had based on my work, I had access to a gym, and I was like, I'll never, I'll never worry about that. And so I sold it, and I used the money I got from my gym equipment for the car. Charged me $500, and I've invested to get it roadworthy and street legal. Roadworthy, I invested another $330, and so less than $1,000 and a lot of hard work. And he gave me a lot of parts. A lot of brand new parts came with the car. I got it on the road. So uh, yeah, and it's still got a ton of work to go. This winter is going to be good. When it gets really cold, I'm going to put on jack stands and take care of the passenger floor pan, and then I still don't know. What do you guys think? I'm debating whether or not I want to do I wanted to originally do an autocross monster out of it, but the original motor's running real good, and I don't really want to rev it out and risk blowing it right now. I kind of want to enjoy it for what it is. I still got this guy available, so I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I actually do want to restore the interior and bring it back to looking classy. But I don't know. Make it a cruiser. I mean, that's what it is. I told my wife for yeah, yeah, I could do that too. I kind of like the it's I restored the original paint, and it was a lot better shape than I thought it was. When you looked at it, when it with all that oxidation that was on top, it looked terrible. And I was like, this is awful. And my original plan, there's a guy who's been on the MGB pages. He rattle canned it. He rattle canned his entire car, and I actually was gonna do that. But this paint's in pretty good shape, except for one panel, the passenger side, and I might redo it. But I have a lot of people tell me they actually like the rustic look too, and leave it as it lays. And I don't know. You bought an oil pan for the price of the car. That's funny. Yeah, and I mean, so this is not the original motor in here. This is a what he called. I don't know a lot about. I'm still learning about these a lot. It's called a gold seal motor, um, and that's what he had put in it. And the carbs were rebuilt right before I guess not right before, like 30 years ago they were rebuilt, but then it was never touched again. So it required a lot of work. And I don't know what that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. That like a racing pan. My dream car. So um, honestly, I would say that this guy is. It wasn't on my list originally, but it's on there, and I've got it now. But my real dream car is that Viper GTS that my friend Alan let me drive, and there's a video of that, and it was awesome. I mean, it was a surreal experience for me. I always wanted one of those when I was a kid. It was my favorite car ever, and he's a super cool guy, real good friend of mine. And he let me take it out for a spin, and I was just gonna lax it. I was gonna just ease into it, take a little spin. He told me to go out and have a time. So, man, he's a real good friend. Road race 9 quart, 9 quarts. Dang, that's what this thing takes. That's crazy. Appreciate you guys talking, man. I would have been bored. I was sitting here watching. I got my little smart TV up there, and I was gonna watch some American Horror Story. Where's Pro Dino? Ah, it's this weekend though. That is all right. So I don't know how nice to say this. I'm because of my work, I'm not allowed to go that far without special requests. So. Oh, I'm sure your MGB will run with a Viper. I think actually I'd love to get this thing lined up with the his is an '01 GTS. I would love to get this thing lined up with that just to see. So I think it'd be really cool. I mean, I was looking at the numbers, and they're about the same curb weight, and the yeah, about the same 0 to 60 times. It'd be really close. Point blank in it. Uh, I am not supposed to show political affiliation. One day, though, I'll be the most vocal person you've ever seen. I'll have a big old beard, probably bald head. 23. God, I think it weighs less than a John Deere Gator. Oh, I appreciate that. I got a buddy who's local, and he's the one who had the sleeper Paxton GT that I got to drive. And man, that guy, he's really cool, and he's been in and out of his motor, and he's actually. I think he let me drive his car like less than a month ago, and he's already making huge changes to it. He's putting a whole bunch of Steeda suspension on the back, and yeah. So your extra, what is it, 350 pounds? That's your motor. Put that beefy boy in. But yeah, my buddy, he's putting a bunch of Steeda parts in. He's putting a GT350 front bumper, front clip on too. It's gonna be pretty neat to see. But it's gonna be quiet still. Still gonna be a quiet car. Charles, you need to post some more videos of your car. That's something unique. That's cool. I thought that one video you showed me was pretty neat. I want to see it go. All right, so real talk. Since I only got a couple of you MG guys on here, this close to selling this car and going after a Fox body. This close. I back in I guess February and March when the pandemic really lit off. It it was I was losing interest in the car honestly because I felt like I had been working on it for 2.5 years or maybe 2.5 years, and it was broken up by a lot of my work, the effort I was trying to put in, and then just when I moved here, I had to sit at my dad's house for almost 6 months, and I was losing interest. I listed it on Facebook for a trade, and I said I wanted to trade it for a Mustang, um, or I gave a value, and I didn't know if I get it, but I ended up starting getting offers. And right as I was starting to get offers, I got the thing to light off. And I had tried to get this thing to start right before I deployed one time, and it just wouldn't start. It wouldn't do it. It was turning over. I fixed some of the internals that I knew were busted, and it just wouldn't start. And I lost. I was so disheartened. It was like literally the week before, and and that back in like I think it was February, March, when it fired up the first time. I could not contain my excitement, and then actually having it run, tuning it, and now driving it to work. I mean, it's running great, and I actually really enjoy it, even though it's slow. 9-inch G. Woo! Yeah, that's a lot of goodies right there. I wish I could afford. Dang. Yeah, that's the thing. That's kind of why I wanted a Fox as well, because they're easy to work on. This thing has been easy. The MG's been easy to work on, and I've been teaching myself a lot on it. A lot of stuff I wouldn't necessarily want to do with this. The scariest thing was the scariest thing was definitely welding that floor pan. But I had to use that damn pardon my language. I had to use the flux core welder that my dad got me for 35 bucks from Harbor Freight, but it worked. Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be a monster. Basically, what Corsa exhaust do you have? The Sport or the Extremes? I know you said full, but I'm just wondering what you're running out the back. Extremes. Yeah, so I got SLP loudmouths on the back. I used to weld a lot in college, and but that was like a welder provided for me. If you really want to do it, you gotta pay some a chunk of change because you got to buy the nice welder, and then you got to buy the gas for it and the tank. It's gas isn't expensive. It's buying the tank the first time. Yeah, come out to the East Coast. There's still we're not there yet, but there's a lot of my fellow Yankees who my family moved to North Carolina from Connecticut when I was a little guy, and a lot of them follow us. It's a lot cheaper down here than it is up there. Oh yeah, what is it? A Miller or is it a Lincoln? I love the full car, of course, exhaust. One thing I'm never going to get rid of though, a lot of boss guys ditch the side pipes. Those got to stay. I love them. I think it's. I mean, it's just. I didn't even know they were there when I bought the car. I was so misinformed. Okay. Yeah. The reddest part of Cali, I believe. I was in San Diego for a little bit, for about 2 months, and then I came back. Really, I've seen it. I think I might be following. I'm not sure. Ah, it's family. How much could he really hate you? Yeah, I used to have a. I used to, so before I had the boss, I had a three valve, and I'm still tracking the car because it still has my Fox, my Carfox or my Carfax, whatever it is. It still says it's located and getting maintenance where I traded it in. So I'm guessing that possibly a guy who works there bought it because it had like 53,000 miles when I traded it in. But I had done BBK exhaust, BBK mid pipe, and pipes, axle backs, tuned it, cold air intake, and the only thing I hadn't done yet was the cams. And I tell you what, man, I miss that three valve. I know they're turds for power, but in my opinion, the three valve sounds just nice. Oh, really? I know fast lanes here. A lot of Mustang guys go to fast lane here in North Carolina. But when I was in Norfolk, there's a DTP Performance, Dyno Tune Performance DTP. They are the tune or they're the tuner that JLT was like 5 minutes from my house, so I would always go drive to their headquarters and just check it out because they had a showroom. Actually, I got like a couple. I got my fuse box cover from the showroom. The guy who like owns it came out, installed it for me. It was real nice. But they use DTP to tune their cars, and there was a guy to test their parts, and there was a guy who I knew in Virginia Beach who was there for the I think it was the JLT Series 2 for the GTs, the Coyotes 11 through 14, and the bosses. He was their test platform, and I don't remember everything he had, but he had the Series 2. He had full exhaust, I think, or maybe it was just long. He had headers for sure. But when they ran his boss, he was making, I think it was 453 wheel horsepower, something crazy for the mods he had, and it was I mean they did him up right. Oh, well, American Muscle's getting ridiculous. I was on there the other day, and I remember when Roush axlebacks were like 400 bucks, and I was looking. I just happened to be scrolling, and take care, Charles. I happened to be scrolling, and the axlebacks for the 15th or 17th for Roush were over 700. That's crazy. Charles, post videos of your car. Oh, he's gone. I think his number just dropped out. Yeah, I've never used them. Never really even looked at them. Matter of fact, a lot of the stuff on my car personally is used. So hold on a second. My battery's still good. I'm gonna open the hood. Ugh. Got a lot of crap laying everywhere. What are you doing? Wanna go inside? No. All right. Yeah, they have good deals on wheels when they're trying to get rid of them, and then they go like that. They're gone. Yeah, so like almost everything in my car, honestly, is used, except for a few things. Considering parts were in this. Yeah, that's crap. But like, so I went with the Roush color and everything. I got that news. And I went with that. That kind of gives it into the stock look. And I was trying to keep everything looking tasteful and like it could have been stock. My brother got this red cover from American Muscle. One time they do have good deals is with the one time they do have good deals is with the Black Friday event. That radiator cover is usually like 200 something bucks, and he got it for 50 bucks for me. But so that was a good deal. And then all this stuff I've always wanted the chrome stuff, and they're so expensive, and I just never wanted to spend the money on it. But I was they had American Muscle did one of those contests where you post a picture, and that was back when I only had one of those mini Power Wheels, and I just posted a picture of my son at 3 years old driving next to mine, and somehow won it, and they gave me a $250 gift card. So I was like, you know what, that's free money I've never had. I'm just gonna throw it at this. I'm gonna throw it at some dress up stuff that I wouldn't want to buy with my own money. So then I got valve covers from a guy an hour north of me for like 80 bucks, and they're painted race red, black with a kind of a carbon or black insert. Nice. Oh yeah. Well, I have just I could go get a supercharger, but that would be irresponsible of me right now. I'd love it, want it. The crazy thing is here of my friends that I've made since I've moved here, I am the slow guy. I'm the slow guy, which is funny. I've never even used CJ. I might have bought one thing from them once. The thing that really used to like hook me to American Muscle was the free shipping. But I had a really bad experience with them this past year. I ordered a Boss radiator because mine started leaking, and they sent me one. And as soon as it came, it had lines in it, and it was crushed and just damaged pretty badly. And they it was damaged badly, and so I sent it back, and I called them like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna expedite you. We're gonna expedite you a brand new one. Don't worry about it. It'll be there. We're send it super fast. It'll be 1 day shipping." I'm like, "Oh, cool." It usually gets here in 2 days, and it didn't come. And I'm like, "What's going on?" And they're like, uh, "Oh, we don't have any more." That's they had sent me the last one, and so when they told me they were going to expedite me a new one, they didn't do their due diligence to even look and see if they had it in inventory. So they're just kind of let me hanging. My boss was on jack stands for a month and a half because I was waiting for a stupid radiator. I ended up going with a Mishimoto aluminum, and I was really worried, but because I've read you either get a good one or you get a bad one, and I've gotten a good one so far. The Wong, is that you? What's going on, man? I got to get up there at some point. Might be stupid, but can you guys click the thumb up? Oh, COVID's delayed a ton of parts. I got parts back ordered for this thing probably forever. Oh, I've seen them. They've messed up some other stuff. Some people had some funny stories where a guy, or I can't remember what he ordered. He ordered something small, something that cost like 150 bucks, and they ended up sending him a carbon fiber hood or something crazy that wasn't even his. And he was honest, and I guess he returned it. But like, I would have just, I would have sold that thing and then bought another one. Wow, that's from American Muscle. Wong, how's the Roush going, man? How many miles are you up to now? Oh, you got those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those up. I'm at 61 now. MMR. Okay. Yeah, I got to order the one thing I do want to do, and my buddy here locally, he is going to help me with it at some point. But the oil pump gears, if I could change that out, the weak spot of my motor is done. Everything else is already beefed up. I've heard good things about Summit. Yeah, our problem is those cams for a Coyote are just so expensive. As long as you got to buy four of them. One thing I do want to do, if I get the oil pump gears, like a lot of people take these cars to they increase the red line to 8,200, and they take it. They take it very well. But I wouldn't do it until I beefed up the oil pump gears. Hey, take care. Appreciate you talking, man. I was bored just hanging out. What are you taking off? Hey, DeWong, have you seen Jim's GT 500 yet? Have you seen it in person? Oh wow, that's a lot. Hey, I bought a GT 500. Three of them are sitting in my trunk. $14 each at Sam's. Have you ridden in it yet? Uh, Jim says he daily. I mean, he sort of does, but his drive to work isn't very long, so he doesn't put that many miles on it. Yeah, I got a few. I mean, there's some minis hanging up on the wall over there, and then I've got I got a bunch of I got probably five of those Mace in my house. One's in good shape; it's mine. The rest are my kids play with and batter around. And then I got a couple of the 118 Mustangs. I just picked up the GT 500, which is what I was talking about. Oh, I wouldn't blame him either. Got to enjoy it. But yeah, I collect them sort of, but I more or less let my kids play with them. What's funny is my 6 year old, he sees how I treat them, and he takes care of his very well. And he's got ones he'll play with, but then he's got his displays. So on top of his dresser, it's like a whole setup of model cars that he won't touch to play with, really. Yeah, I want to get their Shelby Collectibles made a 2013 1/18th Boss 302. I just want to get one of them. I'd probably like the race red since this is red, but it means obviously different sticker, different body style. But I'd also be okay with the school bus yellow one. Long, what you been up to? Any new goodies on the car? You don't need much. I still want to do the. I still want to lower the suspension, do springs you did, but I still worry about coming in my driveway. I know I can make it if I take it at an angle, but there's other areas around that I just wouldn't want to ruin. One thing I can't wait to do though is change out my tires. I think my Pirellis in the back are finally about to give out. They're not giving out, but the tread's not great anymore. Oh, that's solid. I know a lot of people go with the Michelin pilots, and I'm thinking about those. But I was actually, and now it might be too cold because with these Pirellis, anything less than 70 degrees and they're trash. They're like the plastic wheels on the minis over there. They just spin and spin and spin. But I was supposed to go to the drag strip at a test and tune and just go in a straight line, just to do it, uh, play around. My buddy Alan was going to come, the guy who has the 805 horsepower Hellcat. That's wheel horsepower. He was going to come out, coach me up, bring his air compressor, make sure my tires were good. You know, does it like every weekend. So he was gonna get me right, and I'm not gonna assume I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna let him coach me. And but if it was too cold, there's no point because even with that sticky stuff, I'm not positive I would grab. Yeah, a lot of people go with those Nittos too. Are those are those all seasons or are they summers? I really want all seasons, honestly. Summers, yeah. They when I bought my boss the first time, I had a wake up call for summer tires. When I was leaving a Cars and Coffee, and I think it was like 30 degrees outside, and I was doing 70, and I put it in third to go. And when you break loose and start coming sideways, that was a it was a scary moment. That was like when I first bought it. Worst part about it was my dad was right behind me. He would have saw the whole thing. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know who's. Let me see who's in here. I can see who you guys are. Okay. There's only three of you showing, and then says there's four people here. I'm not trying to ostracize MGB people. I'm willing to talk about it too if they're here. I just don't know if they're here. Yep, yep. And then you just nurse it around. Just take it easy. Unless you want to shred them, putting cheese to a grater. Yeah, it's not bad. It can get chilly. Yeah, it's not terrible. I personally hate the where I am right now. I hate the 115-degree heat. And actually, DeWong, you experience it too up there. Like 110 plus degree heat index with 100% humidity. Oh yeah, yeah, you gotta tiptoe around. That's for sure. At some point, hey DeWong, you saw my new rig, right? That trailer over there. Whenever, whenever I'm given the green light, and you guys are doing shows again, and the world's not terrified of COVID, I do plan on loading the boys up, and coming up for a show of some sort. Layton's only going to be big enough for that thing for, maybe a year or two. He's getting tall. One thing I'm really upset I wasn't able to do this year was the autocross. I was looking forward to that so much. Then my oldest son he was only 5 at the time, and he was gonna be out at Cherry Point. He was gonna be running they go karts for the kids, and I guess they go like 45 miles an hour. And he was looking forward to doing that a lot. Yeah. Well, right now we're actually getting a fall. Last year, I don't even remember getting a fall. I think it was like 90 degrees in December, then boom, cold. Is it a real show or is it is it like a virtual thing? Somebody invited me to. I think it was that Mark. Mark, his name, invited me to the virtual show. Yeah, well, I can't wait for Christmas because we are crazy Christmas people here. All these boxes up there are all Christmas lights, and I'm probably going to break the norm for this my channel here and probably do a video just showing that. And yeah, you know what would be my luck, DeWong, is that I go there and my CEO shows up and sees me not here, and I'm in some serious trouble. He's in Little Creek. He'll just happen to be buying a car that day. Oh, I tried. Well, that's one thing I love about car shows. I love when they're charity related. I don't mind giving. I love when they're charity related, and it makes me feel good doing that kind of stuff with my kids and kind of try to let them know kind of what we're, or at least let my oldest know what we're doing a little bit. One thing that drives me nuts is the in Norfolk there was a Cars and Coffee, and they used to. It's gotten bigger, but they started charging for it, and I've never paid for Cars and Coffee ever. They're charging for Cars and Coffee. They said it's for cost of cleanup, and I was like, cleanup? We're adults. Adults clean up after themselves, and it just rubbed me the wrong way. If it was for a charity and they don't each donate to a new charity each week, I'd be cool with that. But the dude, I had no idea what he's doing with it. I swear he's just pocketing it. Is it? Okay, yeah, Virginia Beach. You're right. Norfolk was good. Virginia Beach was bad. You're right, DeWong. Correct me on that. Norfolk was the Tidewater guys. I actually liked that one, and it got bigger. It was started out. I'd show up, there'd be like 5 cars, and then by the time I left, they'd fill that lot. Uh, I personally, I've got so many memories with this thing already. I'm gonna hit 4 years here in January. I mean, you see the minis behind me there. Um, I can't sell it. It's a family car. Maybe I'll give it to one of my kids one day. Whoever doesn't make me pay for college, they can have it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a collector. I'm probably gonna do a video on it. I think with the 6.8 that Ford's about to put out, I think that the chance of there being another Boss 302 in the near future is just gone. So it might be, who knows, if they maybe it's another 40 years, and by then it might be all electric. But yeah, I love this car. I was definitely misinformed about it when I bought it. It was kind of funny because I originally okay. So funny story. I originally wanted a Shelby GT500, and I was gonna go look at I think it was like an '09, and I went to a Chevy dealership that had one, and that same day though, I went to Cars and Coffee, Virginia Beach Cars and Coffee, and like 9 Shelbys rolled in together. And I went to the Chevy dealership, looked at the GT500. Well, actually, I saw it. I didn't test drive it. Probably should have, but there's Boss sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I never see Bosses. They're freaking cool. Everybody likes them. And so I test drove it, and I'm like, oh, this thing's awesome. And I knew it had more power. I did a little more research about I knew the motor was built, and I drove it. What I didn't know is I didn't know. Well, I bought the car. I'd already signed it, and the guy's like, "Oh, here's your key, and here's your track key." I'm like, "Track key? What the heck's a track key?" And I guess this was the first car that had the track key. Um, and I started it up, and he's like, "We didn't show you this." I'm like, "No." And the Lopi idle kicked in. I was like, that was like my favorite thing. That's probably like the thing that's really holding me back from tuning it was the fact that I don't have I guess AED, I can AED kind of get some chop in there. Lund can get some chop, but it's not. I don't know if it's the same. But I haven't tuned it because I don't want to lose the Lopi idle for my track key. But I didn't know about that. And then what I really didn't know about was the side exhaust. And I get under the car. I'm like, what the heck is this? I didn't know it had the quad exhaust until I had already paid for it or signed my name to it. So, one of those discoveries are like, sweet. Yeah, locally here, up in Virginia Beach, there was quite a few. There was a few bosses up there, but down here there was just me so far. There's one guy who has a 13, but it's pretty. I don't want to say it's riced out, but it's got some stuff on it. I'll say that. Hey, that Roush is sweet, man. Exclusivity is what makes it worth money. I tell you what, though, I'm keeping mine, but there's a lot of people that are selling them back because Carvana's just gone bananas buying these things back. They're spending stupid money on them. People who bought them and like put 5,000 miles or more on their car are selling them back and making like a $3,000 profit. It's crazy. Oh, for sure. Well, so the one thing that I know you guys got that like that verbal, not verbal, that tussle on a couple of the pages, right? Um, One thing that the way I look at it, and the way a lot of people, like I'm sure yourself, looks at it, right, is if you go, a Shelby used to be a GT that they got, and they changed it. Shelby changed it, which is what your car is. Shelby did it at Shelby. It wasn't done from Ford and called a Shelby. It was a Shelby made by Shelby. Yeah. What do you mean by where was it done? Where was it made? I got the build sheet uh, in my info pack. I just haven't looked at it. President Trump in Texas. Hmm. I'm not sure. I'm sure. I don't want to say Michigan. It's on my sheet. I gotta pull it out. I should know. Oh yes, Ford Performance made the bus, which is kind of interesting because I thought they'd kind of take a similar tact with the so like the Mach 1, right? Then '04 and '03, they took the Cobra motor, they gave it the 4 valve, right? So it had a beefy motor. The Mach 1, they didn't really go that route. They beefed up the transmission, cool, give it the Tramec, but they didn't. They just gave it the GT motor with a 350 intake. Yeah, but there's go on. You know, there's more to it than that. I like the Roushes and the Salines, but I tell you what, I was looking at one of those new Salines, and their front ends, they're like, man, I don't know if Saline just has a thing for Dodges, but it looks a little bit like a Charger for some reason to me. Well, I just thought they for the new Mach 1 they'd change something. They'd beef up the motor. I was expecting like at least 500 horsepower for it, but shoot, they could tune it. Just give it a little more. But maybe that would take it out of their factory spec for safety. I don't know. They're at 480, 500 at the motors, not much more. Oh, about the salines. I hate doing this, but if you haven't given me a thumbs up, just thumbs it up. I wouldn't mind a charger. Like my buddy here that I made, a friend I made here, he's a Mopar man, and he's got a freaking he's got the Viper GTS, that crazy Hellcat. He's got a Viper Ram, and he's got the a Pro Charge Magnum, which is also just badass. That's his daily. Well, if they change the motor, yeah, it would be a GT. You're right, 350. You're right. That's why I was saying just give the 5.0 a little more power. No, it's got 373s. Yeah, it's 373s, and they're it's a little short, but I think it's perfect. I like it. I would never go 410s. I know a lot of people like that, but I don't know. I don't like driving on the highway at 80 miles per hour and 80 miles per hour revving up to like I don't know what would be like almost 4K, maybe 3,500. Probably closer to 4K. Not Does not appeal to me. What's Subaru? Yeah, it's definitely an improvement. I think. Trump supporter Dodge dipped out. At least he let us know he voted. All right. Well, it is midnight. I just wanted to kill. I usually stay up this late, honestly, and I'm working in the garage. I just didn't feel like doing anything else. Appreciate all you guys chatting with me. Yeah, I'm going to bed too. Appreciate everybody chatting. Hold on, let's see. Long tube. Oh yeah, the long you know I have, man. I would love them, and I'm sure my side pipes will be stupid loud. They're already loud, and I'm sure they'd be stupid loud. I also haven't even still have the over the axle resonator that's right behind the mid pipe. I haven't deleted them yet. I'm worried that that would be too loud. I also I don't want my SLPs to sound like crap. I'm worried about that. I think it sound good now. Oh, I like loud. Loud's good. However, I'd like to take my kids in the car and not have them wear earmuffs. All right, DeWong, man. I'll talk to you later, dude. I got to get some sleep. I got work in the morning. Oh, yeah, definitely not. Well, they're still there right now, so side pipe resonators are gone, so that'd be like a direct out and still be crazy loud. I'll probably do this again. This is Good, fun little chat. Later, man. Before we leave, what's your favorite gloss color? I mean, I went to NC State, so I'm partial to red. I like a couple of them. The Kona Blue, really cool. What year group? It depends what year you're looking at, I guess. What year are you looking at? 13 or 12? The 13s have the track app. The 12s are more old school, straight up race car, no frills about it. That being said, I do wish I had the track apps. I think they're cool, but I don't care regardless. One day, what I want to do is I want to take my 12, put a 13 bumper on it, so I have my favorite front end and my favorite back, and it'd be perfect. So if it's a 12, my favorite colors are the red, race red. I like the Kona blue, and the I think it's Oxford white. Or maybe I'm mixing that up with my MG colors, but white. Um, for the 13s, I like the race red still. I definitely like school bus yellow. I think school bus yellow is badass, and I like the Oxford white again. 12, okay. So Kona blue, race red, and the God, I'm blanking out. I'm getting tired. Kona blue, race red, and the Oxford white are my favorites. Yeah, the fronts look better, but the backs need some improvement. I've got one 13. Okay, I've got two 13 tail lights, but one's got out ringed. But I got them for $90, so it was a good deal. Honestly, all the colors are good, man. The blaze yellow is, I think, a pretty rare color too. It's just not one of my. It's not my favorite, but a lot of people like it. A lot of people like it. Yeah, Kona blue is a real good color. I really like it. All right, brother. I need to get some sleep. I'll do this again. This is fun. I might do this when I'm working on something I don't feel like making a video for. What Subaru you got before I go? Yeah, man. Later. Talk to you guys again.